Hello gentle listeners, and welcome back to Whispers of the Past. I'm your host, Josh, and today we're diving into the ancient sands of Egypt to explore the life and legacy of one of its most intriguing gods, Thoth. Revered as the god of wisdom, writing, and magic, Thoth is a figure whose influences stretches far beyond the borders of ancient Egypt, touching the worlds of philosophy, mysticism, and even modern-day culture. So, settle in as we unfold the feathers of the abyss, the sacred bird so closely associated with this enigmatic deity, and embark on a journey through time to discover the tales and teachings of Thoth. But first, I have a story for you. Long ago, before the heavens and earth came into being, there existed only the boundless, swirling darkness of none, the primordial waters of chaos. From this endless void, creation began to emerge, not solely through the wisdom of one god, but through the harmonious interplay of many divine forces, each contributing their essence to shape the world. Among these gods stood Thoth, the brilliant and wise scribe of the divine, whose role was pivotal in recording the plans of creation and ensuring the universe's balance. As Ra, the great sun god, emerged to bring light to the cosmos, it was Thoth who carefully measured the heavens and set the stars in their courses. His calculations laid the foundation for the movement of celestial bodies and the cycles of time. The earth, formed by Geb, and the sky, lifted by Nut, came into being under the principles of Ma'at, truth, balance, and justice, that Thoth helped to establish. These principles became the invisible threads holding the universe together, ensuring harmony in all things. When the time came for the gods to create humanity, their efforts were deliberate and collaborative. From the fertile mud along the banks of the Nile, shaped by the hands of Khnum, and given life by the breath of a moon, humanity was born. Yet, their creation was incomplete, without guidance, knowledge, and the means to thrive. It was here that Thoth stepped forward, not as the sole creator, but as the divine teacher and keeper of wisdom who would shape humanity's destiny. Thoth observed the first humans as they wandered the new world, awestruck yet unsure of their place within it. He saw their potential, but also their vulnerability. To aid them, Thoth gifted humanity with writing, the sacred art that would allow them to record their thoughts, preserve their histories, and communicate with one another across time. Inspired by the ibis birds that traced patterns in the mud of the Nile, Thoth invented hieroglyphs, symbols that could carry the power of words and ideas. Beyond writing, Thoth taught humanity the secrets of mathematics, astronomy, and medicine, equipping them with the tools to measure, understand, and heal their world. Under his guidance, the first calendars were created, allowing humans to track the cycles of the moon and the seasons, ensuring their survival in harmony with the natural rhythms of the earth. Through Thoth's teachings, the principle of the Ma'at became woven into their lives, guiding them to live with integrity, fairness, and balance. Thoth's wisdom extended beyond practical knowledge. He imparted the sacred truths of the cosmos, teaching humanity to revere the gods and honor the delicate balance that sustained all existence. He served as a bridge between mortals and the divine, ensuring that the prayers of humanity reached the heavens and that the will of the gods was understood. As humanity grew and thrived, they built temples and cities that reflected the divine order Thoth had instilled in the cosmos. They inscribed his hieroglyphs upon their monuments and offered prayers to him as the divine scribe, the keeper of knowledge, and the mediator of the gods. Thoth's presence was felt in every aspect of their lives, from the gentle waxing of the moon to the rustle of the Nile's waters, a constant reminder of the wisdom and harmony that he had brought to their world. In this way, Thoth's legacy endured, not as a solitary creator, but as a guide, a teacher, and a guardian of balance. His gifts to humanity, writing, knowledge, and the principles of Ma'at ensured their place in the vast and intricate tapestry of creation. And so, through his wisdom, humanity found their purpose, flourishing in a world born from the harmony of the gods. So, who is Thoth? To begin, let's paint a picture of Thoth. Known to the ancient Egyptians as Jehuti, Thoth is often depicted as a man with the head of an ibis, or occasionally as a baboon, two sacred animals closely associated with his divine attributes. The ibis, with its curved beak and graceful movements, reflects Thoth's precision, intellect, and connection to the moon. The baboon, on the other hand, symbolizes his analytical mind and vigilance, often depicted sitting in contemplation or raising its arms in reverence to the moon. Thoth's influence stretched across numerous domains. He was revered as the god of wisdom, writing, and knowledge, and he held the role of divine scribe, recording the deeds of the gods and the fates of the mortals. His wisdom was seen as unparalleled, and he was often called upon to mediate disputes among the gods. For instance, in the famous mythological cycle surrounding Osiris, it was Thoth who assisted Isis with spells and counsel, ensuring her son Horus could rise to challenge Set for the throne of Egypt. Thoth was also instrumental in the concept of the afterlife. He presided over the Hall of Mayat, where the hearts of the deceased were weighed against the feather of Mayat, symbolizing truth and justice. It was Thoth's duty to record the outcome of his judgment, ensuring the cosmic balance was maintained. This pivotal role made him a guardian of both life and death, a figure deeply entwined with the Egyptian understanding of the universe. But Thoth's contributions didn't stop at his divine duties. He was credited with the invention of hieroglyphic writing, which the Egyptians believed held magical power. These sacred inscriptions were seen not merely as a means of communication, but as a way to invoke divine forces and preserve the eternal. Thoth also imparted the knowledge of mathematics and astronomy, teaching humanity to measure time, map the stars, and understand the natural rhythms of the world. Through these gifts, Thoth became not only a god to be worshipped, but also a symbol of the human pursuit of knowledge, a divine embodiment of the mind's endless capacity for discovery and understanding. Thoth's presence in Egyptian mythology is vast, and each tale captures a facet of his immense wisdom and magic. Among the most celebrated is the story of the Eye of Horus. After Set murdered Osiris and claimed the throne, Horus, Osiris' son, rose to challenge him in a protracted battle. During one of their fierce confrontations, Set tore out Horus' left eye and shattered it into fragments. This was no ordinary wound. The Eye of Horus symbolized divine sight, protection, and authority, and without it, Horus' strength waned. Thoth, witnessing the imbalance caused by Set's actions, intervened. With his unparalleled mastery of healing and magic, Thoth meticulously gathered the shattered fragments of the eye, and using sacred spells and divine tools, he restored it to its original form, imbuing it with renewed power. This restored eye became the Wadjet, a symbol of wholeness, healing, and protection. More than just a myth, the Wadjet came to represent the mathematical concept of fractions in Egyptian culture and served as a potent amulet for safety and health. Another tale of Thoth's ingenuity is the creation of a 365-day calendar. In the early days of the cosmos, the year was believed to have only 360 days, a flaw that left no time for the births of the gods. Recognizing the need for divine harmony, Thoth challenged the moon to a game of Senet, wagering his intellect against its light. Through clever strategy and patience, Thoth won the game, gaining enough moonlight to craft 5 additional days. These epigomenal days became sacred, marking the births of Osiris, Isis, Set, Nephthys, and Horus. Beyond myth, this story underscores Thoth's association with celestial cycles and his role as a regulator of time and balance. Thoth's character also shines in tales of compassion and protection. When Isis fled from Set, seeking refuge to protect her infant son Horus, it was Thoth who stood by her side. He provided powerful spells to shield her from harm and offered guidance on how to navigate the dangerous world while evading Set's wrath. This nurturing aspect of Thoth shows his role as a guardian of Mayat, the universal principle of balance, truth, and justice. His care ensured the survival of the rightful lineage and the continuation of cosmic order. Another fascinating myth ties Thoth to the underworld. As the god who presided over the Hall of Ma'at, Thoth recorded the judgment of souls. The deceased heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, a test to their adherence to the truth and justice in life. If a heart balanced with the feather, the soul could enter the afterlife. If not, it was devoured by Amit, the fearsome creature of judgment. Thoth's role in this process was critical. He was the arbiter of truth, ensuring fairness in the afterlife. This dual responsibility as a judge and a protector further highlights his central place in Egyptian cosmology. Thoth's reach extended far beyond Egypt, influencing other cultures, spiritual traditions, and even modern philosophies. The Greeks identified him with Hermes, their messenger god of wisdom, communication, and commerce. This merging gave rise to Hermes Trismegistus, thrice great Hermes, a figure revered for his esoteric knowledge. This fusion led to the development of Hermeticism, a spiritual tradition that explored the relationship between the material and divine realms. At the heart of Hermeticism are the Emerald Tablets, mystical text attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, but deeply inspired by the essence of Thoth. These tablets are said to hold the secrets of alchemy, the mysteries of the cosmos, and the interconnectedness of all existence. One of the most famous axioms from the Emerald Tablets is, as above, so below, a principle that underscores the harmony between the macrocosm of the universe and the microcosm of human life. This idea resonated with medieval alchemists who sought to transmute base metals into gold, interpreting it not only as a physical transformation, but as a spiritual journey towards enlightenment. Thoth's influence is not confined to ancient texts and traditions. His archetype as a divine scribe and master of knowledge has inspired countless works of art, literature, and philosophy. His connection to the moon and its cycles of waxing and waning continues to evoke themes of intuition, renewal, and transformation in modern spirituality. Writers and mystics often turn to Thoth as a symbol of the quest for wisdom and understanding, bridging the ancient and contemporary worlds. Even in science fiction and pop culture, echoes of Thoth appears. Stories of advanced civilizations, lost knowledge, and sacred geometry often draw from the mythology surrounding him. The enduring fascination with the Emerald Tablets and Hermetic wisdoms reveals a persistent yearning to uncover the mysteries of existence, a quest that Thoth embodies. Thoth's legacy reminds us that the pursuit of knowledge is timeless. His tales speak to the human desire to understand the universe, harmonize with its rhythms, and seek the balance that Ma'at represents. Through the hieroglyphics he inspired, the myths he shaped, and the philosophies he influenced, Thoth's voice continues to resonate, guiding humanity in its eternal search for truth. I now have a quote from the Hermetic texts. This is Hermes, or Thoth, talking to Asclepius, who is the Greek and Roman god of medicine and healing. I hope you enjoy and find it as fascinating as I do. Do you not know, Asclepius, that Egypt is an image of heaven? Or, to speak more exactly, in Egypt, all the operations of the powers which rule and work in heaven have been transferred to earth below. Nay, it should rather be said that the whole cosmos dwells in this our land as in its sanctuary. And yet, since it is fitting that wise men should have knowledge of all events before they come to pass, you must not be left in ignorance of this. There will come a time when it will be seen that in vain have the Egyptians honoured the deity with heartfelt piety and assiduous service, and all our holy worship will be found fruitless and ineffectual. For the gods will return from earth to heaven, Egypt will be forsaken, and the land which was once the home of religion will be left desolate, bereft of the presence of its deities. O Egypt, Egypt, of thy religion nothing will remain but an empty tale. which thine own children in time to come will not believe. Nothing will be left but graven words, and only the stones will tell of thy piety. And in that day men will be weary of life, and they will cease to think the universe worthy of reverent wonder and worship. They will no longer love this world around us, this incomparable work of God, this glorious structure which He has built, this sum of good made up of things of many diverse forms, this instrument whereby the will of God operates in that which He has made, ungrudgingly favouring man's welfare, this combination and accumulation of all the manifold things that can call forth the veneration, praise, and love of the beholder. Darkness will be preferred to light, and death will be thought more profitable than life. No one will raise his eyes to heaven. The pious will be deemed insane, and the impious wise. The madman will be thought a brave man, and the wicked will be esteemed as good. As to the soul and the belief that is immortal by nature, or may hope to attain immortality, as I have taught you, all this they will mock, and will even persuade themselves that it is false. No word of reverence or piety, no utterance worthy of heaven and of gods of heaven will be heard or believed. And so the gods will depart from mankind, a grievous thing, and only evil angels will remain, who will mingle with men and drive the poor wretches by main force into all manner of reckless crime, into wars and robberies and frauds, and all things hostile to the nature of the soul. Then will the earth no longer stand unshaken, and the sea will bear no ships. Heaven will not support the stars in their orbits, nor will the stars pursue their constant course in heaven. All voices of the gods will of necessity be silenced and dumb. The fruits of the earth will rot, the soil will turn barren, and the very air will sicken in sullen stagnation. After this manner will old age come upon the world. Religion will be no more, all things will be disordered and awry, all good will disappear. But when all this has befallen, Asclepius, then the Master and Father, God, the first before all, the Maker of that God who first came into being, will look on that has come to pass, and will stay the disorder by the counterworking of His will, which is the good. He will call back to the right path those who have gone astray. He will cleanse the world from evil, now washing it away with water floods, now burning it out with the fiercest fire, or again expelling it by war and pestilence. And thus He will bring back His world to its former aspect, so that the cosmos will once more be deemed worthy of worship and wondering reverence. And God, the maker and restorer of the mighty fabric, will be adored by the men of that day with unceasing hymns of praise and blessing. Such is the new birth of the cosmos. It is a making again of all things good, a holy and awe-striking restoration of all nature, and it is wrought in the process of time by the eternal will of God. For God's will has no beginning, it is ever the same, and as it is now, even so it has ever been, without beginning, for it is the very being of God to purpose good. As we wrap up today's episode, we're left with a profound appreciation for Thoth, a god whose stories remind us of the power of knowledge, the necessity of balance, and the beauty of creation. From the hieroglyphics etched into ancient temples, to the mystical philosophies that echo through the ages, Thoth's legacy endures, offering wisdoms to those who seek it. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the myths and mysteries of ancient Egypt. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, or send me a review or suggestions to whispersofthepastreviews@gmail.com. Until next time, keep seeking the stories of the past, for they hold the keys to understanding our presence. Farewell, gentle listeners.